the Olympics. The Olympics. The Olympics came. They said for 3 years the AAU has got the same guy, and they never did that before. Who is this young trainer that is training these people to be such good fighters? Well, it's this young man named Harry Wiley. Well, we want him for the Olympics. We want him to do the same thing for the Olympic team. So they hired Harry Wiley, and he was the first. We were colored then. He was the first colored coach. And he went on to train the team. And then old racism stuck its ugly head up. Because what they were doing, they were taking food and like steaks, fresh chicken, fresh eggs, fresh milk. We thought milk was a great thing back then. Fresh milk, and giving it to the white fighters. The black fighters got powdered eggs, army rations, powdered milk, powdered eggs, chicken that was slightly, you could tell was not that fresh. They didn't get no steaks. They didn't get the best of food. So the guy who hired my father, a man and when I say this, there's going to be ears that go up in the audience. Some people will know who this is. Kennesaw Mountain Landis. I'll explain to you why he's such a nefarious character. He has to go into this man's office because he's the head of the Olympic delegation for the Olympics, the American delegation, and he's the one that hired my father. He tells him, "Look, I'm not gonna lie to you. I just want some fresh eggs and fresh good chicken and fresh stuff for the colored fighters." Because he said, out of the 5 that I think are going to medal, 3 of them are black. Oh, no, not black. 3 of them are colored. And he said maybe 1 or 2 might be white. He said, I just want to get them in shape too. Give them fresh milk and stop giving them this powder stuff. Kennesaw Mountain Landis said, "Nigger, you don't tell me," literally, "Nigger, you don't tell me what to do with my teams. I brought you in here to train these fighters, and that's all. Matter of fact, I don't need you. You're fired." Not recently, maybe 10 years ago, a guy who has a boxing thing on the internet. I can't think of his name. On the internet. He wrote an article about my dad, and I told him this story. And he said he let me know after maybe a month or 2, he wrote an article. He said, and he wrote me an email. He said that he checked on that, the accuracy. He said, "You're right. Your father hit it right on the head. 3 of them medaled. 3 of them silver. I think 1 might have been gold, and 2 might have been silver, or something like that." He said, "Your father hit it right on the head." I said, "Wow." Now, we need to get to why Kennesaw Mountain Landis was a nefarious, rotten human being. We've all heard of Jackie Robinson, right?
Absolutely.
We all knew that baseball players, colored, could not play in the league for a long time till, what's his name from Brooklyn, brought Jackie in. We know that. Now, the reason why he couldn't do that was because of baseball's commissioner, a man named Kennesaw Mountain Landis. You see, after he did that job at the Olympics, they appointed him commissioner of baseball, and he was a racist SOB. Everybody knows that. Kennesaw Mountain Landis. He kept Jackie out. He kept Satchel Paige out, the great black pitcher. He kept out a lot of great players. He kept them from even playing together, white teams and so forth. White teams playing black teams at one time. He kept them all at bay because he was afraid they were going to show him up. Which they put together one time, the great, black colors used to have what they call barnstorming. They used to barnstorm the black teams, and they always said the black teams were better than the New York Yankees, which was a killer. They were like, they had Babe Ruth and everybody. Well, they finally settled this one time. Sorry to get off boxing for a second, but I just want to drop a little knowledge. If you can go check everything out I say. They actually, if I remember right, they played the Yankees in Yankee Stadium and beat the Yankees, the great Yankees with Babe Ruth. And an edict came down because the newspapers was there. They told the newspapers not to write about this. This was bad for baseball. That's all. That's Kennesaw Mountain Landis.